is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. New for you now at 4. A Fargo woman will spend the next 7 years in jail for fatally stabbing her boyfriend in the groin last spring. 34-year-old Taryn Stately pled guilty to 1 count of felony manslaughter back in June. She was originally charged with 1 count of murder in the death of her boyfriend, 27-year-old Keenan Poitra. That happened at an apartment in the 1600 block of 33rd Avenue South. Stately told police she stabbed Poitra after the two of them got into a fight, and Poitra ultimately bled to death. We're following a developing story for you today on an armed robbery. The man involved is still on the run, and police are asking for your help by reporting any information you may have. The robbery happened off of 25th Street South and 20th Avenue South. The manager says around 9:20 this morning, a man got away with an undisclosed amount of money. Police are currently reviewing security cameras in the store. The manager says everyone is shaken up, but they're okay. Police describe the suspect as white with a thin build. They say he was wearing a black hoodie, dark sweatpants, black tennis shoes, and a medical mask. If you have any information, call dispatch at the number there on your screen, 701-451-7660. Now here's Hutch with a first look at your forecast. Hutch?
Stacey, thanks so much. And take a look at that scene that we have outside in Grand Forks. It's all changing. Beginning midweek, we need to be prepared for those changes to begin. For many of us, that's going to begin in the form of rain. As we take a look at what's going on, we do have first alert weather days declared for Thursday and for Friday. Those will be the days with the greatest impact. Let's get right to it. We're not going to hold you off here. First and foremost, on Thursday, we could have a possible morning break after some rain showers get things going on Wednesday, maybe even some snow near the international border. Then we'll start to see that wraparound snow making its way back into the region. We'll have some gusty winds that increase, and then we could have even travel impacts Thursday evening. By Friday morning, more of us will have travel impacts. More of us will see our first snow of the season. It will accumulate for many of us. Shovelable snow is what we're talking about, but could there be even more? Well, yes, there could. For tonight, we have clearing skies mainly through the North Dakota counties. As we take a look at quiet conditions this evening, temperatures are going to be lovely. Get out and enjoy and get those preps going. Here's what you need to know. You want to make sure that you're ready for that first snowfall of the season, beginning for many of us by Thursday evening, and by Friday morning. Plan for the potential for some travel impacts for some of us. We'll keep you updated. I'll have all of the details you need to know coming up here, Stacey, in just a few moments.
All right. Thanks so much, Hutch. The West Fargo Police Department is asking for your help in lifting Officer Tim Brown's spirits. Officer Brown suffered a heart attack while on duty last month. He's still in a hospital in Omaha. Today, the department is asking the community to color Get Well Soon cards as Officer Brown continues his recovery. Cards can be dropped off at the West Fargo Police Department at the address there on your screen, or they can also be turned into a school resource officer. Donations can be made at the Bell Bank to the West Fargo Police Association account in support of Officer Tim Brown. A man reported missing at the Fargo Police Department last month is now an active case in Bismarck. Police say 38-year-old Daniel Olson was reported missing out of Fargo on October 28th after he didn't show up for work. Now, Bismarck police say his vehicle was found in an abandoned park. If you have any information as to where he may be, you're asked to call police. A woman reported missing last week in Ward County has been found dead. The sheriff's office says the 42-year-old was found dead in a rural part of the county. Deputies say her body was found in a car she was suspected to have been driving on Friday. Investigators say there is no indication right now of anything suspicious. Starting today, the U.S. is allowing previously banned international visitors if they're fully vaccinated. Tourists from some 33 countries, including Britain, most of Europe, and China, had been blocked for nearly 20 months because of the pandemic. Elise Preston shows us how the change is giving a much-needed boost to many American businesses.
The return of international travelers is not only reuniting loved ones.
How are you feeling right now? I don't have words.
It's also reconnecting millions of tourists to U.S. industries that depend on their dollars, including airlines. Delta has seen a 450% increase in international bookings, and hotels like the Fitzpatrick Grand Central in Manhattan are once again welcoming foreign visitors.
How are you feeling?
We're excited. We really are.
Owner John Fitzpatrick saw business drop 90% at one point, but now is expecting a surge of holiday guests.
Our business for the first 2 weeks of December is greater than it was in the same month in 2019.
The U.S. Travel Association says the decline of international visitors during the pandemic has led to a loss of $300 billion and 1 million American jobs. But now hiring is ramping up, including in U.S. towns along the Mexican border, like Southern California's San Isidro, where 80% of tourists are from Mexico. Big cities are also getting a boost. About half of all tourism spending in New York comes from international travelers, according to NYC and Company. It's a similar story in San Francisco.
In 2019, just to give you an example, 63% of all tourism spending in San Francisco is by international visitors. And that has been shut down since the beginning of the pandemic.
Foreign travelers tend to stay longer and spend more money. Two big reasons why the tourism industry is welcoming them back. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Retailers and malls are also hoping the travel lift will help give their sales a boost. Global visitors fueled more than $43 billion of shopping in 2019, or more than a quarter of the total shopping driven by travel and tourism. But retail experts and companies say it will still take time for tourists to return to the U.S. and spend. Airlines still have fewer flights, and some countries like China are tightly restricting outbound travel. Governor Doug Burgum opened the 16th special session today with a constitutionally required State of the State address, where he gave one final push for his plans for the billion ARPA dollars. Coming into the session, Burgum and leadership had a deal for 80% of the funds. However, the numbers can change throughout the week. Burgum said there's no time to wait to invest all available federal dollars. Burgum put emphasis on investing in oil and gas infrastructure to boost state revenues, economic diversification, and tackling the worker shortage. We'll have more on tonight's address on Valley News Live. Today, a demand for answers after the deadly tragedy at the Astro World Music Festival in Houston. Over the weekend, 8 people were killed and more than a dozen hospitalized when a crowd pushed forward after rapper Travis Scott took the stage. Concert officials say the show continued for almost 40 minutes after a mass casualty event was declared. Both Scott and the concert promoters say they're cooperating with local authorities. Police say their narcotics unit is also involved after one security guard at the event alleges he was pricked with a needle and resuscitated with Narcan. The Biden administration says it's prepared to defend its new COVID vaccine rules. The comment comes as a nationwide effort to vaccinate children ages 5 to 11 gets underway. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
First Lady Jill Biden visited a COVID-19 vaccination clinic at an elementary school in Virginia, part of an effort to encourage parents to make sure their 5 to 11-year-olds get their shots.
This is the best way to protect your children against COVID-19.
One of the strictest vaccine mandates in the nation went into effect Monday in the city of Los Angeles. Businesses, including gyms and restaurants, must require proof of COVID vaccination from patrons, or else face fines of up to $5,000.
This is impossible that owner of a restaurant going to tell a customer that he is not welcome to his restaurant.
President Biden's vaccine regulations for workers that's supposed to go into effect in January is facing new legal challenges. A federal appeals court in Louisiana temporarily halted the requirement that companies with 100 or more employees ensure they're vaccinated or test for COVID weekly. In addition to that requirement, about 4 million federal workers face a November 22nd deadline to get vaccinated. The administration says it's confident the rules will withstand court challenges.
The president and the administration wouldn't have put these requirements in place if they didn't think that they were appropriate.
Travelers crossing the border from Mexico or Canada require proof of vaccination, but they don't require a test. A CDC spokesperson says it's continuing to evaluate whether to allow visitors who have recovered from COVID and have natural immunity, but at this point in time, natural immunity alone will not meet the requirements of fully vaccinated. This Thursday is Veterans Day, and the Disabled American Veterans nonprofit is helping former soldiers and their families by starting a Veterans Assistance Fund. Vets in the state can apply for a one-time $250 grant to help with rent, groceries, car repairs, or just to make ends meet. Applications are set to open later this month. You can visit the Disabled American Veterans website for more details. And it's another sign we have cooler weather on the way. The skating rink is going in at Broadway Square in downtown Fargo. Installation started today and will take about 2 weeks. The Shields skating rink is set to open Tuesday, November 23rd, just a few days before Thanksgiving. Get ready to pay more this year for that Thanksgiving turkey. We'll tell you why coming up right here on Valley News Live at 4.
But next, here's the big storm system we're watching off the west coast, and it's going to bring big changes to our area beginning on Wednesday. We'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect through the rest of the week right after this.
Valley